So AEW Wrestledream is in the books, and I can't think of a more controversial ending since like a month ago when AEW dropped the Hangman Swerve finish. And now we've got BRYAN DANIELSON, who is retired from being a full-time wrestler. I don't know why I have these in my ears because I don't need them. Anyways, this is Hot Takes, man. If you guys want my full podcast length review, oh man, we dropped a podcast last night after the show over at Going In Raw, so check that channel out. And Larson and I dropped our star ratings for the show earlier today, so you can check that out over at the Friendo Club Wrestling channel. But this is Wrestle Juice. This is where I ask for your hot takes. So let's go ahead and dive into them. I loved this first one from Chris B. Cream. Says, apparently enjoying the show is a hot take. Man, oh man, if there was any show where the online discourse was just absolutely insane, it was this one, because we got the AEW sweaties, we've got the anti-AEW sweaties, and oh man, depending on where you land, I think will kind of inform your thoughts on this show. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm still sort of like wrestling, so to speak, with my own thoughts on how that finish went down. The more I mull it over, the more I actually kind of appreciated it. In the moment, I felt it was missing something, and I kind of still feel like it was missing something there in the end. I've seen some of you here in the comments thread relate it to, as I did last night, the end of Infinity War, the Marvel movie where all the stars, or half the superheroes, I was going to call them superstars, half the superheroes died, like got dithered away by Thanos. And I kind of see it in that way too. That being said, I feel like it was missing something, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Some sort of punctuating moment, I think, for Mox, to be honest with you, given that they've been kind of building up this sort of expectation that there was going to be some big reveal, whether it was, and I kind of jokingly, we've talked about it, everybody's talked about it, have said that it could be Shane McMahon or should be Shane McMahon. Regardless, I felt like there was some big story beat missing towards the finish there. But let's go ahead and talk about your guys' hot takes here. Maybe we'll learn something together. 21 Pandas here brings it up. Where is Shane? I want the Shane World Order. I know maybe that's partially on me for building up this idea that there's going to be a Shane World Order. Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer, has said that Shane is not going to be part of the company. Now, whether or not that'll end up being a swerve and Shane is around, I don't know. At this point, I kind of feel like it'd be goofy. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea. The problem is, I think Mox has been so vague with like his promos, like, oh, this isn't your company anymore. We're going to war. You're not the guy. It doesn't have to be this way. We need to know what all that means. I think if there was a more concrete question, who is it? What's the deal? What do they want? Why do they put the title in a duffel bag? That's a concrete question, but I feel like we need to know, okay, are they handing the title over to somebody? What's the deal? I feel like there needs to be more of a concrete question that we have to mull over besides what is happening, what's going on, what does Mox mean? There needs to be more of a concrete question for the angle to have been fully appreciated last night. There's always going to be the disingenuous comments, but there's also people I think that are, look, Danielson wants to go out on his own terms, and that means being a big bummer of a moment. That's great. But I think for his story to really be effective, I think you need to understand why. We knew what Thanos' thing was: destroy half the shit in the universe so that the other half can flourish, can thrive. We just don't know what that is for the bad guys now. And I think that's the thing that's missing. Bucket Dipper says, I really like the Danielson Mox finish and angle. I think the brutal, sobering reality of it was done incredibly well. And not every hero's journey needs to end in a blaze of glory. Makes Mox and Blackpool Combat Club not just look like, and I think he says something like, it makes them look like a force of nature, like an Anton Chigurh for No Country for Old Men. Again, I think, and I can appreciate the lengths they went to really bring it down, but I want to know what the mission statement for Mox is. That's the point. If anybody can tell me that, let me know in the comments below. Mr. Van Cleef says, why does it feel like Tony Khan randomly decided halfway through September, let's do the exact opposite of absolutely everything we've been planning? For example, Cole face, Statlander face, Darby doesn't get a title shot, Takeshita doesn't face Okada, Lashley doesn't show up, Shane doesn't show up, Rico does show up, Mox is or isn't maybe is kind of part of something. So many 180s, hard to keep up. Yeah, look, I'll be honest with you. Something changed. Something had to have changed. My feeling is something probably changed where they decided, hey, we've got this big story angle that we want to go with. Now let's go ahead and sort of pivot everything to a different place. That's what it feels like. And if, let me get rid of this, it's distracting. And if they have something concrete, I mentioned this in the video where I said AEW needs to some long-term planning. If they were like, okay, we've got this, we know what it is, let's extend this out, let's play this out, let's write this in advance heading into Revolution. Clearly, they've got an idea that they want, right now I think every title is held by a bad guy. And if the idea is they're going to do like a good guy, bad guy thing where the good guys have to do their end game, then how is that going to play out? Hopefully they do have a plan. And look, if they had some idea where they wanted to go, and then after all out, there was a decision, oh, we're going to pivot. Darby's not going to get his title shot. Mox's going to get it. He's going to get the title, and he's got some big angle planned. Then as I said before, what is the actual mission statement? But I'll be totally fine with it if this is a situation where we know where we want to go now. And yes, we had to make some awkward left turns to set that up, as long as they let it play out, as long as we see now we got the big second act. Now what's the third act? Or maybe this is the first act. I mean, generally speaking, the big bummer happens at the end of the second act, but this is wrestling, so things are different. But the idea is we were going to do something. We weren't exactly sure with this Danielson thing. Oh, somebody has an idea. What if we make it a bigger idea and sort of make it all encompassing for the company? Now let's play it out all the way up to like whatever, Double or Nothing or next year's All In or Revolution or whatever it is. Let's see it all play out. Then you got me curious, but that has to happen on a week-to-week basis on Dynamite. That has to play out every single week on TV, new pieces to the puzzle. It'd be interesting to see if they can pull this off. I'm not confident because they haven't really done anything like that before, but hopefully they'll figure it out. Just Auntie Joe says the Young Bucks burying Private Party before their match and beating them clean is without a doubt the most damaging thing that happened on the show. Again, if they're setting up Private Party to go through this process, this journey where eventually they do become the tag champions, they need to follow through with it because that crowd, everybody wanted Private Party to win, especially after Matt gets on the mic and buries them. Man, now I want to see them win, but like, are they going to be in a thing with Stokely? Are they going to be in a thing with the Top Flight guys? Like, what's the situation to get them back to where we all want them to be? At the end of the day, man, you set up a story, you got to have it pay off. And so I'm willing to wait it out, but man, oh man, they need to rebuild. They need to get that benefit of the doubt back from the audience because I kind of feel like AEW's fumbled that a bit. Zero35 says Adam Cole being the face and MJF being the heel is so silly. Injuries fucking suck. Yeah, I mean that's just the card that we all been dealt with Adam Cole. If he's gone for a long time, he comes back, people are going to cheer him. People really love Adam Cole. Even when Adam Cole's a bad guy, they're like, "Oh man, this is going to be fun." Really like Adam Cole, even as a bad guy. I thought they did a really, really good job with the whole MJF Adam Cole thing up until obviously Adam Cole got injured and it was a bummer. What was he supposed to do? Like hang out on crutches or in a wheelchair? That sucks. Now that he's back, MJF, what they could do is tell a story where Adam Cole realizes, hey, you know what? And I know they did this before, but realizes, hey, you know what? I created this new monster of MJF, this extra unfeeling new character of MJF, which is really honestly the same MJF that we've had since day one, minus the time where he was with Adam Cole. But maybe Adam Cole can understand, hey, you know what? I had the guy in a good place, and then I screwed it up because of my own ambitions and because of my own jealousies or insecurities or whatever. Now I've found some perspective because I was gone for a long time, and, you know, I don't have a lot of time left as a wrestler, so I want to make the most of it. That's me being a good guy. And I did think that the save bit was a bit much last night with Daniel Garcia making the save and then MJF coming out and then Adam Cole making the save. In any event, Adam Cole's back. He's a good guy. He's going to feud with MJF. Maybe he'll try to bring him back from the dark side and MJF just won't have it. And then that's going to be the basis of their feud. They really need to leave masks out of this, though. Leave the devil stuff out of it. I'll be honest with you. Maybe just forget the Undisputed Kingdom was a thing or whatever they're called. What are they called? Yeah, they're called the Undisputed Kingdom, right? whatever they are. Brendan Flaherty says, after seeing Beast Mortos wrestle, I firmly believe every sport should have a Minotaur. Imagine a center fielder, but a Minotaur. Hockey goalie Minotaur. Oh, fuck. That's a good one. Like a huge 7-foot guy in the middle of the basketball court, Minotaur. Man, that Mortos hologram match, the 2 out of 3 falls, that was awesome stuff. I'm all on board. Hologram might actually start watching Collision again, guys. Mortos is great too. Kidney Stoner Music says the best part of a pay-per-view should never be a talking segment. To what? Are you referring to the Swerve bit? I didn't think that was the best part of pay-per-view. I actually thought the Swerve bit sort of slowed everything down. I was hoping to see Lashley. Lashley didn't show up, which is fine, I guess. Maybe try to pop a TV rating with Lashley. Maybe that'll work. But yeah, I kind of felt like the talking segment with Swerve was just a little long. It's a little on the long side. I liked it fine enough. And the match between Swerve and Shelton Benjamin is going to be really good. But yeah, I didn't think that was the best part of the pay-per-view. Marvell says having Okada and Mercedes Moné not there to wrestle was dumb, considering we got 5 non-title matches with no title implications. You know, I'll be honest with you. I feel like AEW needs more non-title things going on, so I'm kind of okay with that. It was weird not having Okada on the Inoki show because he's like the modern-day Inoki, as a lot of people say. So that was weird. I'll always take Okada on pay-per-view, though, man. I think he's great. I like Mercedes, too. Atticus says it felt like Vince McMahon booked this show. All right. We're done with you guys. We're done with you guys. We're done with you guys now. Vince McMahon booked this show, man. I don't know. Vince, like SummerSlams, Vince was known to book really, really bummer SummerSlam endings. But I don't know. None of this felt like a Vince McMahon show, man. That's a hard disagree. That's too hot of a take for the hot take show. Anyways, that's going to do it, everybody. Hey, do me a solid. Hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought of Wrestledream. We got the podcast. We got the star ratings out there. So everything you guys want to hear about Wrestledream, we've got available under the Going in Raw Friendo banner. So be sure to check that out. And until next time, we'll see you guys around.